Hello everyone, dear friends, subscribers and guests of my channel. You're watching the FiveStars channel, friends. We are in Poland, in Sosnowiec, near the train station, and we're continuing our trilogy. Friends, we're checking out kebabs near the Sosnowiec train station. Today, friends, it's time for our next stop. Habib Kebab. 4.2, he has, friends. That's the rating on Google. I hope you can see it there. Habib Kebab near the train station in Sosnowiec. Let me remind you, if you haven't watched the previous two episodes, go check them out. All three of these kebab places are right next to each other in Sosnowiec, right in the city center, not far from the Plaza supermarket, next to the train station. The first two kebab places weren't anything special, just regular, edible, cheap kebabs. I always get the small one, chicken and beef with mild sauce. The meat in the kebabs was ordinary. The first kebab cost 13, the second one cost 12. That's quite a low price for a small kebab. The lavash wasn't bad either. The meat was good, the lavash was fine, nothing special. One kebab was a bit drier, the other was a bit better, fresher. But what let these kebabs down was the sauce. The sauce was completely ordinary. It was like, I don't know, yogurt with ketchup or yogurt with tomato paste. Nothing special. I call this kind of sauce mayonnaise ketchunes. It's a mix of mayonnaise with ketchup or a mix of mayonnaise with tomato paste, something like that. But in the second kebab, it was a bit fresher, a bit better, but overall the two kebabs were similar in taste and quality. Today, friends, we have the third kebab, which is located a little further away, literally 15 meters from those two kebabs that are next to each other. And as often as I pass by there always seem to be more people there just by eye. So in theory, the kebab should be tastier. So guys, I'm taking my hidden gadget and heading out. In the meantime, you can write in the comments which city in Poland you're in and which place is your favorite. I'll make a list from your comments later. And when we come to that city specifically for testing, we'll check out, try, and review your favorite restaurants, friends. Also, friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're just getting started and there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. There will be lots of delicious food, kebabs, and different restaurants. Chinese, Indian, burgers, and all sorts of other cuisine. There's such a huge variety that you could keep exploring it for a lifetime just in Poland without ever leaving the country. But we'll also travel abroad together, at least that's my plan. And for these plans to come true, friends, all you need to do is subscribe and hit the like button. By the way, a lot of people ask why I blur my face. I've already answered this, I mentioned it in the very first episode, but I'll repeat it again, just to be clear. These answers will keep coming up every few episodes because it's impossible to reply to every comment individually. I blur my face for two reasons. The first reason, friends, is that I want to stay incognito for as long as possible, so that when I go into an establishment, I don't get any special treatment. That is, so they don't increase the weight of the products or add extra sauce for me. Basically, I don't want any favoritism towards me. I want to look like an ordinary customer who just came to buy something for as long as possible. Tasty, cheap food, and I want to see how it's presented, how it's actually served. And secondly, in Poland, there are a few food bloggers like that. One of them is the most famous, and he constantly has to bring a bodyguard with him. My channel is still new, friends. It doesn't have the kind of scale yet where I could hire a bodyguard and have one with me all the time, so I'll just try to stay incognito for as long as possible. Alright, I'm taking my spy gadget. And off we go, friends. So friends, I'm already here. As you saw in the place, a few words about the establishment. When you walk in, there's no smell, the ventilation works, the place is good. It's clean, I sat at a table as you saw, checked the table, not greasy, everything's fine, money-wise. The shawarma guy took my order wearing gloves, and with those same gloves, he handled the poultry, then rolled my kebabs. So they do have gloves, but they take money with the gloves on. So what exactly are the gloves protecting from? From nothing. Well, unless someone is grossed out by having their food wrapped with bare hands, then at least it's not bare hands but gloves. But the money was handled with the glove. And so the germs from the money has the most germs, those germs end up in the food. So friends, at this place we have 3 types of kebab and dough. Let's start, friends, right from the beginning with the dough. In this kebab, the dough is different. In the previous 2 there was regular lavash and regular pita. In this kebab they have a kind of double layered lavash, I can't quite remember. No, it's Armenian, no, Georgian, most likely it's Georgian. Well, it's kind of like a pita bread, it's wonderfully round, but it separates beautifully into 2 distinct halves inside, almost as if there's a pocket of air within it. It's traditionally baked in those incredibly hot tandoor ovens, most likely. I don't precisely know where they specifically buy it, but conventionally, it's always baked in authentic tandoors, and while the dough is actively baking, it dramatically puffs up, it becomes like a delightful bubble, much like a large inflated balloon. Then they carefully take it out. So, traditionally speaking, that's exactly how it's baked. So the delicious beef is 13 zlotys. No, wait a moment, I actually misspoke. The smaller portion of beef is 12 zlotys and the tender chicken is also 12 zlotys. Takeout packaging is 2 zlotys, so in total it's 26 zlotys. That's for those 2 kebabs, and here I got exactly the same, chicken, beef and lamb. Today we're reviewing 3 kebabs, friends. With 3 kebabs, you can eat until you're stuffed, plain and simple. And all this pleasure will cost us 39 zlotys, 3 kebabs to go. So friends, let's start like this. Lamb is marked with the letter B. Right now you can hear these sounds. The car has started. It's winter outside, friends, so sorry for the background noise, but unfortunately it has to be this way. Otherwise I'll just freeze in the car while I'm filming content for you. But thank God I have a hybrid, and because it's a hybrid, friends, this sound doesn't last long at all. Well, as usual, let's start with the chicken. Let's do it this way so the sauce doesn't spill everywhere. So the packaging is the traditional kind, wrapped in foil to keep the temperature in. But there's no paper. But that's forgivable, friends. We just unwrap it like this. Alright, the most important thing. As you can see, the kebab looks like this because the dough forms a sort of pocket. So when he tears it in half, one ear goes one way, the other ear goes the other way. And it ends up like a pocket and he stuffs everything inside. That's why you can't roll it up the way you can with regular lavash by just wrapping it up. Evenly like the meat, and then on top inside some cabbage or maybe some other vegetables. Then you roll it up and it turns out that the meat goes all the way around. You can't do that with the pockets, only this way, but we'll check how full it is by cutting it in the middle with our scissors. Friends, the scales, I couldn't manage to get to finish. So let's see what we've got here in terms of filling. Look at this beauty, I'll bring it closer for you. You can see the cabbage, the sauce, and they're not stingy with the chicken, see? Everything should be perfectly visible to you there, just a little farther, a little closer, so the camera catches the angle well for you. So the kebab is filled excellently. Let's take the first bite. The kebab is nicely toasted. Let's take the first bite. My mouth is watering. And now let's test the taste. Yes, friends, that's a whole different story. A whole different story. The taste is different from the previous kebabs. The chicken is better cooked through. I like it when the chicken is roasted like this, friends, so that it has a little crunch, right? Here the chicken is crunchy. The cabbage is also cut into thin strips. But the sauce is the same as in those other kebabs, right? You should be able to see it here. I think you should be able to see it. Yeah, this too. It's something in between ketchup and mayonnaise. Oh, I mean something in between ketchup and mayonnaise. It's something mixed, kind of like homemade mayonnaise. And most likely with some kind of ketchup or tomato paste. So here we also have regular ketchup. Nothing special, but the chicken tastes better. Much better. If we compare all 3, though I said I wouldn't compare the places to each other, right? And we were just going to evaluate them independently of each other. But since they're all competitors, all 3, for now, chicken is winning. And the sauce is kind of sweet, there was more ketchup in it. Friends, there's more sweetness in the sauce here. So the sauce started dripping, so I just tried it by itself. Yeah, it's sweeter and a bit greasier. And I think it's more liquid because the others didn't drip, but this one does. But he didn't skimp, he put a good amount of sauce on the meat. Then he added the vegetables and put more sauce on top of the vegetables. Another bite. But yeah, the chicken here is tastier. In the second kebab, if you haven't seen it, check out the last 2 episodes. In the second kebab, the chicken tasted like rotisserie chicken, you know, from the spit. Here, the taste is different. Here it's more well roasted. The chicken here is grilled, not cooked on a spit like those others, where they add a bit of garlic. No, here you can really taste the spices used for the chicken, the aromatic ones. Some herbs, you know, the meat is delicious. The chicken is really good, friends, really good. Let's move on. Next up, we have beef. This is our beef, friends. I'm unwrapping it and unboxing. Unboxing the delicious beef, and so, the much anticipated beef has finally arrived here. Well, as I previously told you, my dear friends, as you can clearly see, if it's securely wrapped in a protective pocket, the very ends are completely closed off, and you genuinely can't really discern if it's been perfectly and thoroughly roasted to your liking, can you, my friends? And here is this lavash, the one that comes as a pocket. The one that's made from 2 parts. It's much tastier than the regular lavash and pita, so for me, this one tastes much better, this pocket-style one. Let's cut it open and take a look. Let's check how full it is. I promise for the next episode, I'll definitely bring a scale. It's just that I had a scale at home, but my daughter took it for herself. She does some baking from time to time. Look, it's nicely filled with meat. Let me show you closer, then farther away. Pause the video if you want, take a closer look. There's a good balance of meat, cabbage, and sauce. You can see everything, right? Everything is clearly visible. The toasting is good too. It's toasted on both sides. I browned the sides a little. There you go. Alright, let's dig in. Now for the beef, friends. Let's go. We're biting right into it. Well, let me tell you, the sauce is the best. Yeah, it's just regular ketchup, mayo ketchup, but it's better than the last 2. The one there was really sour for some reason. There was just way too much ketchup. But here, everything is in order, there's a balance. A nice balance. The beef. It doesn't smell bad. It smells like grill and meat. Just grilled meat, that's all. That's all you need from a kebab for 12 zlotys. It shouldn't smell bad, the sauce should be a bit sweet, not sour, because any sharp flavors, my friends, overpower everything else. If something stands out too much in the flavor mix, you immediately stop tasting the meat. In the previous 2 kebabs, the sauces were too sour. Here, that's not the case. How do I think they make these sauces? The meat is grilling and the fat is dripping down. What is mayonnaise? It's whipped fat, right? So I think they take that fat, maybe add some yogurt to it, right? And they whip that fat until it reaches the consistency of mayonnaise. Then they season it to taste, either with tomato paste or, most likely, just some regular cheap ketchup. But here, the sauce actually tastes really good. It's a bit sweet, there's enough of it, and it's not overly sour. There's also enough meat here. For 12 zlotys, my friends, this is a real winner. Yeah, that's good, it works. It works, my friends. And what is it that's working for us? It's time for the lamb now. The beef is actually pretty good. Good meat. Yeah, it's just a regular ball. No, nothing special. The car started up again, so there will be some background noise. It's just a regular ball. Yeah, there's nothing special about this ball. Well, it's like ground beef that's been put through a meat grinder. But it's good. Right now I'm savoring it, and a piece of meat just hit my taste buds, my tongue, my palate. And well, it's good, tasty, well-cooked meat. So, nothing special. But nothing bad either. It's well salted, well peppered, well seared. So let's move on to the lamb. But the lamb, my friends, I don't know if you could see it, because the hidden camera quality is pretty mediocre, right? But the lamb was already in pieces, because when he started to cut it, underneath, there was already a small ball. And it started to fall apart into chunks from the bottom. Yeah, so pieces started to fall off. That means, well, you could see when he shaved it that it was coming off in balls. So our lamb comes off in whole pieces. Alright, let's open up the lamb and see, friends, what we've got here with the lamb. It's also wrapped well. Nothing to complain about. Well wrapped, nicely grilled. Everything's great, nicely seared. I really like it when it's well heated through, grilled properly. Let's cut it open, friends. The experts are conducting the dissection. So let's check the filling. The filling is excellent too. Very good. Let's smell it. Well, let me tell you this. Lamb usually has a kind of distinctive smell, but here I don't smell it. So if you wanted to try lamb but are afraid you won't like that distinctive lamb smell, you can safely order it at Habib. I don't sense that smell here, friends. No, it smells like meat, it smells like the grill, it smells like sauce. Well, it smells like toasted bread. That's it. Alright, friends, let's dig in. Let's take a big juicy bite. They definitely don't skimp on the sauce. The sauce is literally dripping out from the bottom. So what can I say about the lamb? Let's even take a piece like this without any sauce, just plain, and savor it. It's tender, yes, it's served as a chunk, not ground, just a piece. I can really tell I'm chewing a piece of meat, the fibers. There's a subtle, distinct lamb flavor, but no off-putting. There's absolutely no smell or anything else like that, so if you wanted to try lamb, you can get it here at Kabibika for just 12 zlotys, cheap and cheerful, a great way to try lamb. For the first time in my life, it's well cooked. There are even pieces here that are so well done they crunch. I love meat like this. I like it when the meat has a bit of crunch, when it's well cooked but not dried out. And that's exactly how it is here. It's juicy, well cooked, but not dried out, just perfect. Even though the lamb skewer was almost finished, it was still on low heat. And they were slowly warming up, so let's taste this lamb again. Yes, that's good, that's really good, friends. Very nice indeed. So, after this 3-day epic, friends, I can give my verdict on why, whenever I go, I always see more people at Habib's through the window than at the other two places. Those two places don't have lamb, that's one thing. They only had 2 types of kebabs hanging there, chicken and beef. At Habib's they have lamb, that's a plus for customers. Plus Habib's has better dough. The lavash there opens up on both sides, like a pocket. This dough is better than the regular lavash at the other 2 places I tried before. Another plus is the sauce. They don't skimp on the sauce. It's not overly sour. So everything is great. The engine started up again, so there will be some background noise. So out of these 3, I would recommend Habib. Now, let's move on to giving out the stars. So there's parking available. I parked without any problems. Yes, it's a weekday, today is Sunday, so there's less traffic. Traffic is also lighter before lunchtime. If you come to eat lamb around lunchtime on a weekday, it'll be hard to find parking there. But today it was 12 noon and it was great. There were several spots available. You could even choose where to park. From the parking lot, it's literally just 10 meters to the kebab place. Super. So it gets a star for the location, for parking, and for easy access. There you go, it gets it. The place itself also gets a star. It was quite clean. There was a shawarma chef. The kebab chef was wearing gloves, even though he handled money with the gloves on, but the tables were clean, not greasy, not sticky, and tidy. So that's how it is. So, 2 stars for the location and the premises. There's a place to sit. There are tables, there's a big table. There's also a bar counter by the window. Probably about 15 people, maybe 10. Easily 15. It would be a bit of a squeeze, but you can comfortably fit in there, so Kebab Habib already genuinely gets 2 well-deserved stars for that impressive achievement. Now let's thoughtfully move on to our crucial taste stars. For specifically having delicious lamb, Kebab Habib certainly gets a solid star. But my dear friends, let's not truly kid ourselves, it's just an ordinary, rather typical train station kebab, absolutely nothing particularly special or extraordinary. I honestly didn't get any exciting explosion of flavor whatsoever. A good quality, cheap train station kebab with a sauce that's not overly sour but still just sauce. It's ketchup mayo, yeah, so giving it 5 stars. Friends, I just can't do that for this place. Simply put, as a recommendation, it's better than those other 2 places. Yes, it's better to choose Habib because the dough here is better, and you can also try lamb. Yeah, so you can try lamb meat for a minimum of 12 zlotys if you eat in, and if you take it to go, it'll be 13 zlotys. So, friends, that's how things are. Basically, the kebab is, well, if you're hungry, you come, eat, and move on. But to go out of your way just for this kebab, well, I probably wouldn't go out of my way just for this kebab because it's not like it's super delicious or anything. No, if you're running around and suddenly feel your stomach grumbling, you can just pop in quickly, pay 12 zlotys. The guy from India will whip it up for you in no time. 5 minutes tops. You spend another 5 minutes eating, and that's it. So, friends, that's how things are with Habib. 4 stars confidently. But now I actually feel a bit sorry for Habib because out of these 3 places, he's the best. So that means we should give the others 3.5, right? Right? But the sauce, of course, the sauce lets it down. Or should we give Habib 4.5? Right. By the way, Habib has a 4.2 rating. 4.2, almost 4.5 on Google Maps. Well, let's make it 4.5. Alright, a perfect 5. Now that kind of 5 will only go to some super amazing kebab. And that, my friends, will be in our next episode. So subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, friends. Also, don't forget to write in the comments which city in Poland you're from and which kebab place or, I don't know, Chinese or Indian restaurant. Let us know where your favorite food is, but specifically places where you can eat well and cheaply. Write it in the comments. I'll make a list for myself, and we, friends, will definitely test out your favorite spots. After some time, we'll gather and compile all your feedback from the comments. I'll put together a route and go on a tour across all the cities of Poland to try out your favorite fast food places, friends. That's all. Thank you all for your attention, friends. Once again, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's very important for a young channel. The faster we grow, the better and more powerful the content and quality will be, and everything else too. Because then, friends, we'll have the resources to reinvest in equipment, in some assistants, maybe even some secret shoppers whom we can send ahead. They'll make a purchase and then we'll do the same, so we can compare both purchases from the same place, a control purchase and our own. So make sure to subscribe. Alright, goodbye everyone, see you soon.